So it appears while I took a week off, the Space Engineers developers decided to do a public test for a brand new upcoming update of the game. Thanks guys for one time I leave the house. Just joking. Anyway, today we're taking a look at some of the new features coming in this update. Hey everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the upcoming Space Engineers economy update for the game, and yes, it really is a massive update for the game. Just to be clear, the update is not out at the moment. Instead, Keen, the developers, are testing it occasionally through public tests, which you can access as well. Thanks to everyone who's waited for me to discuss the update. I'm glad you appreciate my coverage of the game. Speaking of which, if you want to join an active server and a vibrant Space Engineers public server, then I invite you to come and join my own dedicated server community via the Discord link below. It'd be great to have you, and we're currently enjoying playing with some of you on our public servers, so I can't wait to see more of you there. Anyway, let's discuss the expansion of NPC gameplay inside of Space Engineers. One new feature building into this update is Npc Trading Outposts. These can be found on planets, asteroids, or even in space. Each station is different, so you're going to get some variety in the gameplay here. There's even deep space outposts, which really do take ages to get to. Apparently like 2 hours, you have to use jump drives. It's quite far. How are they different? Well, you have three main types of NPC factions which operate these outposts. You have the miners, which, are kind of obvious. They're selling and buying ingots and ore, builders who are selling ships, and traders who are kind of doing a bit of everything from what I'm told. Now, builders are a very interesting NPC trader. The reason I say this is because they basically sell ships within the game, pre-built ones. Maybe you're tired of building your own starships and just need a quick ship to get you from A to B. Come to these guys with a lot of money and they'll sell to you right away. I've included some screenshots of what the UI looks like, and honestly, I love it. Once you buy a ship from the builders, it'll appear in the station's safe zone perimeter, which is quite cool. Now via the in-game faction screen, you can see what each NPC faction is offering. An example could be the Sovereign Cartel, shown in the development stream. These NPCs offer components, tools, and fuel. Basically a variety of things the average player needs in Space Engineers. Now NPC faction and outposts won't be available right away when you start a new game, so you need to discover them through playing the game and exploring planets as well as other areas of the world. Inside of a faction screen, you will see them listed as undiscovered when you first start out, so gather your supplies and get searching for those fresh deals. I imagine this is going to be like the great exploration of 2019, something like that. Now safe zones have been revamped inside of Space Engineers. Trading stations are now protected by this shield looking device. I'm going to tell you how that works. Essentially, the safe zone sits around the trading station, which has to be a static grid and protects it from attacks and raids, so you're safe while you're doing your trading with the NPCs or other players. The new block is the safe zone block. This is what creates your safe zone around the station. As I mentioned earlier, it can only be created around a static grid, not ships, but you can have ships inside it. Now the block does require a ton of power to operate, as well as two of the unique item, zone chips. If your base runs out of power or you're out of zone chips and they expire, then the safe zone will fail, leaving your station open for looting from other players. Each zone chip appears to last 1 hour. Now these chips can only be brought from other NPC stations, which is quite interesting. I wonder if we're going to see like trade blockades around planets or stations. That'd be quite cool. You can also whitelist and blacklist certain players and factions on your safe zone, which is cool as it's more security for your trading station. I'll have more on this feature once the new public test happens, but let me know what you think of this in the meantime, and if there's anything else you want explained in better detail. So how do you buy and sell at these outposts, you ask? Well, this is where the new economy comes into the game. Space credits. Yep, this is the in-game currency for Space Engineers. Personally, I think many wanted clan credits or clan coins or something along those lines, but space credits does the job in the long run. Your space credits are digital, meaning no one can come along and steal it, but you can withdraw the credits as cash, in which they can be lost should you die or misplace it. Hands up, who's going to be hiding their gold for others to find? I am definitely setting up a pirate treasure chest somewhere, that would be funny. Okay, let's talk about store blocks. On NPC Outposts you can find a store block, which is where you can buy and sell components and even fuel and starships and a variety of other things. Docking your ship to these outposts allows you to sell things you've got in the ship's inventory through the store block, like components and ore, and while you're there you can also buy fuel for your ship's hydrogen tanks. I really like the idea that you can stop at different outposts and fuel up your ships and then keep on exploring until you find the next one. It adds a lot more playability to Space Engineers. Now you can run your own trading stations and therefore have your own store block featuring offers on items or as new order requesting certain items that you want. You can either be a super good dealer or charge them upmarket prices. What is great is that it's entirely up to you, the player. I like this. I am definitely going to be running a trading outpost on my public server. I look forward to all of you visiting me. It's going to be fun. Also typically found in the outposts are contract blocks. These blocks offer us lucky players contracts to complete in return for space credits. An example contract would be collecting steel tubes and then delivering them to a desired destination for an NPC faction. Completing this contract will earn you space credits and increase your reputation with said faction. Along with that, bounty contracts are also a thing. So if you've been killing other players or you're harassing the other NPC factions, a bounty will be placed on you, meaning I could go and pick up the contract to hunt you down. I really like this, it sounds really cool. Along with that, escort contracts are something I find cool. These types of contracts mean you have to defend and escort another ship while they get to a certain area. From what I can gather, drones and other hostiles will try and attack the ship or station you're protecting. Ever wanted to be a space trucker? Well, hauling contracts are also a thing. They pay well, but the only downside is you have to travel super far in the world, so it's quite time consuming. A variety of contracts are available. Personally, I can see myself chilling out of some hauling contracts, or maybe some escort contracts if I feel like being shot at. The important thing is, there is something for everyone. Like I mentioned earlier, with running your own store blocks, players can also run their own contract blocks, meaning you can give contracts to other players so they can do your bidding. Honestly, the more I hear about this update, the more excited I get. Players can visit your own trading station and go to your contract block and see what you're offering. An example of this could be the following. I want a player to go and get me more missiles so I can blow up my friends. I can offer the player a custom amount of credits and a time limit to get me the resources within. If the player fails the contract, I can also charge them the custom amount. Sounds cool, right? Player-to-player trading is a new part of the game with this update. Players can trade other items directly via a new in-game menu, including trading PCU as well, which is interesting. I'm intrigued on how this feature works, so I'll have to do more research into it. Moving on, there are a few new items and consumables within this update. Data pads are new. Teased around 2 weeks ago, this is essentially a way to share text documents within the game. Players can type something into the data pad, like a message or GPS coordinates to a base, and hand it to another player rather than putting it in the chat, where someone else might see it and run away with the information. Players can also buy data pads from the NPC traders. These pads will have details like GPS coordinates to trading stations, which players can visit and obviously get more supplies. If you have the spare credits, pick one of these up, as you never know what it might tell you. Now, I love the idea of data pads and can't wait to see the roleplay features with this. Even for custom scenarios like the Escape from Mars map I'm currently playing. So much usage could come from this new little feature, I can't wait to see how it's put to work. As mentioned, consumables are new, and these currently come in 2 types as far as I know. A medic kit for those nasty injuries you get, and also a power kit in case your spacesuit runs out of power is what I'm guessing. Now, these consumables can only be bought from other NPC stores at the moment. The last new item is the zone chip, which builds into the trading station safe zone I mentioned earlier. I'll cover the zone chips and safe zones in an actual video once it comes out towards the actual update release. The faction system of Space Engineers has received massive changes for this update, including a new reputation system, faction icons, account balances of factions, and a little bit more. Creating your own faction is the same as always, but this time you can design a logo for your faction. Now, these logos are a selection of presets, but you can change the colours of the logo, including the background colour. So it's at least a bit unique to your own faction style. Faction balances are a new feature. It's kind of like a guild bank, I guess. This is a comparison we can make. Faction members can deposit and withdraw space credits from a faction bank, which is really cool. Now, being a server owner myself, I can see a downside. Players could just withdraw a ton of money and run away. Hopefully people don't do that, and it'll be interesting to see if there's some sort of permission system in place to stop that. Maybe something along with the ranks, I'm not sure. Hopefully the developers have considered that. Faction reputation is a good new feature, one I think which will shake up gameplay within multiplayer servers quite a lot. As someone who runs these servers, I think it's going to make gameplay 10 times cooler personally. The idea that if your faction gets a bad reputation, players and NPCs might not want to work with you, so you have to be careful with what you do. Hopefully this does build into multiplayer gameplay as well, as I can see it making players think about what they do before they actually do it. Yes, I'm looking at you, the player who is killing everyone on the server. We know who you are, your reputation's bad. Just joking. Now, contracts can also affect your reputation with other factions. Should you choose to do work with one faction, another faction might not like that, so essentially, be careful who you're working for, as you could end up making the wrong enemies. Okay, now if you're a server admin, you're going to be excited about these admin changes. The admin changes come into the game, including the ability to ignore PCU limits and ignoring safe zones. The PCU limits is the kicker here, as we've been requesting that for quite some time now. It's great to see that included within the game. If you're a server admin, you know what I'm talking about. Afk Timer is now also a part of the admin tools. If you're AFK on a server, you'll be kicked after a set period of time. Server admins will also be able to change the account balance of players in the server. The reason for this is to maybe deliver rewards or solve glitches, or kind of the things that make events on my servers run 10 times better when we can directly give people credits now, instead of like a selection of all. I've just about covered everything so far in this update. Regarding DLC, everything that is in the public update and tests that I share today is confirmed to be free, so you won't need to purchase anything to play with the economy system of the game. Now, I do expect that some sort of DLC package will come with this update, but as of now, I do not know anything about it, so we'll have to wait and see until the announcement comes around. Personally, I think this is a great update and expansion of the gameplay for Space Engineers, something to really shake up how we play on our worlds and servers. As a server owner, I can now see this making multiplayer servers more fun to play, as players will now be able to operate their factions how they want. They can be shipbuilders, miners, traders, and more. The faction changes are also something I am keen for, as they expand the playability of Space Engineers. I know for sure I am definitely going to mod my own logo in, and set up my own trading company inside one of my public servers. That is going to be cool. With regards to how you can experience this update in a public test, Keen usually do 3 to 4 of these tests, with the first one happening just about 2 weeks ago now. I believe the next one is scheduled soon, maybe this week or maybe next, but do keep an eye on Keen's social media for more information on how you can get involved in the experience and the test for yourself. I'll make sure to post it on my social media, so definitely get involved when the chance comes around, and let me know what you think. So there we have it. This is the newest content coming to Space Engineers soon. I expect to see this update in either August or September, judging from what the developers have mentioned on the stream. If you want to keep up to date with the latest Space Engineers news, then make sure to subscribe to myself to be kept in the know. In the meantime, I've been Captain Jack, thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed this little news briefing, and let me know what you think of the economy update. I look forward to seeing your opinions in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.